just ran into a man who's from France. And Montana, how did he know where we were from?
Wow. He goes, Forrest Gump.
Yeah. Oh, that's a horrible French accent, but it's better than I can do. So, well, he knew Alabama from Forrest Gump, so we told him it was our brother. Montana, congratulations on your first mile of the Camino.
It's been a mile already?
She just asked me, why do you put yourself through this? And I said, what? She said, hiking. My sister Montana and I chose the French route because we've heard it's the most traditional, or at least the most popular of the Santiagos, and gives you, the typical experience. So we decided we'd start with this and then maybe try something like the Norte at a later time. I'm really looking forward to a different culture, meeting people from all over the world, trying different foods, hearing different words in a different language, and just the entire experience. And I think what makes it most special is that I get to share this with my little sister. And I didn't get my passport and get to cross into another country until I was 30. And so knowing that my sister is getting to get out of Alabama and see something different, something new, and that there's a whole world out there at 19 is just very special to me. And I'm happy that I get to drag her along for this experience. Put it reverse, Terry. We stayed in Saint Jean Pied de Port last night, which is still in France. We haven't crossed into Spain yet. Got checked in and got our credentials, so they give you a little Camino passport that you get stamps in along the way, and then at the end you show that for your completion certificate. And now we leave the road for a trek. Now you're on a real trail. Ooh. So, most normal people would book the first few places they're gonna stay when they go to a different country, but I usually just do things on the fly. The first stop is in an area called Orson. From what I understand, it's just an albergue, but it books up like way far in advance. So they told me a week ago when I tried to book it to give them a call the day before. Yesterday I called and the man told me that as long as I am there by 1 p.m. he should be able to help me out. So we've got to do in 3.5 hours 4.8 miles with 2,000 feet of elevation, which doesn't sound terrible, but again, it's our first day. Buns of steel. Buns of steel. This is like, ow, like stinging nettle or something though. Jeez, hurts. Worth it though. It's stinging bad? Yeah. Ugh. So I just touched this with my wrist and it's like on fire, and Montana backed up to let a car go by. Is it?
It's just like both are like.
Yes. It's like stinging nettle on steroids. God. Oh. First untied shoe of the trail.
Oh my gosh.
We've got 12 minutes to get point 2, which I think is where the road goes down there and then back up. It's just on the left. Come on. Come on, Montana. Come on, Montana. Made it with minutes to spare. Let's hope they have space or we're going to be sleeping in the ditch right there.
With the chicken.
With the chickens. I guess there was a cancellation.
Okay, so you didn't pay ahead. You just saved you the room without paying in advance?
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That
is awesome. You can't do this. Look at me.
Yeah.
You know,
you're gonna inspire a lot of blind people thinking, I cannot do this, I cannot do that. Yeah, she does it. She does it, so you can do it too.
Montana.
All good? All right, come with me.
Is that your pillowcase?
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. It's like...
Yep. It's like that
feels
wash.
like-
It's like when the dryer sheet.
Yes!
things.
It does feel like a dryer sheet. I'm making a rescue from the restroom. Be free, friend. Go eat some clothes. Maybe I really shouldn't put any of the clothes. Be free. Come on, you have to help yourself some. There you go. We might be searching for our socks.
I didn't wash my socks.
Oh. Okay, I'll be searching for my socks and you'll be having stinky feet.
I'm Jack. I'm from Denver, Colorado, and I'm here to support my parents.
I brought with me my brother just to show him the Camino experience.
I'm from Santo, England, and I'm here because we're walking the Camino with two friends, except they didn't come.
I watched this wonderful woman walk the Appalachian Trail, the Pacific Crest Trail, and she just stood up and said, "She's here, I can't believe it." So we watched this lady walk. Well, from America, so it's lovely to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome.
I'm obviously hoping to achieve a lot of goals.
Camino was on our bucket list.
I'm here for the adventure challenge. I like challenges as well, and because I want to have 30 days vacation for my family.
Come on. Doing it for the wine. I'm really glad that we got to stay at Orson last night because it was just a cool place. It had great food and it was really clean. A lot of folks there, so it just had kind of the community atmosphere. But I think my favorite part of the whole experience was during dinner while we were all eating dessert. They had everybody stand up one by one and tell their name, where they were from, and why they were hiking the Camino. Ooh, I about messed up one too. Then actually a guy that we met yesterday as soon as we got to Orson is hiking because he lost his daughter earlier this year, and he's carrying a little necklace that has some of her ashes in it. He's gonna go ahead all the way to the coast and spread her ashes in the ocean. So there are a lot of people out here with different stories of why they're doing it and why this is special to them. So it's just cool to have everybody share that, and I guess it kind of brought everybody together instead of being just awkward, and it was awesome. And if that's any indication of what the rest of this trip is gonna be like, then I'm pretty excited. I know it's not moving. I wonder, you know what? Oh no, it is moving.
Is it?
It's just sluggish. Day 2, we are already having to embrace the suck. Now we have uphill and rain. I guess the good news is we won't be sweating. It's got a butterfly booty. 10 kilometers. Yeah, we think that's what it is anyway.
Something like that.
It is not 10 miles yet. I was just telling Montana I wish we could find a place out of the rain to take a break. And we did. And they have hot chocolate. Oh. probably can't even scratch yourself with that bell. Ooh, them some strong legs. Let's stay to the front side. Did you make a deposit? Did you make a deposit? Uh-oh. 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 Less than a quarter mile to Spain, Montana. I think we're there.
Oh.
Okay, maybe not yet.
Oh, you got it.
So cool.
Good on water. I've had enough rain down there.
Ready to go to Spain?
Yes.
Let's go.
I'm gonna miss France.
Yeah, the French fries were so good.
Right?
Crossing in.
Hey!
Hey! Woo! Be careful in that wood. It's slick when it's wet for real. My turn. Wow, that's a big pile you put back there.
I hate you.
They're wet and cold. Yeah. Still raining, and we are glad to not be out in it. This albergue is huge. They have about 290 beds. After dinner last night, we had drinks with several other pilgrims, just kind of hung out. There is a strong sense of community on this pathway. But with so many people out here, of course, it's kind of a community thing. And as you can see, all the ones on the top floor here are now cleared out because Montana and I are really good at being the last ones out. And that's why we might have problems with places booked along the way, but we'll figure it out because I'm not gonna get up at 4 a.m. to race the crowd all day. That's stressful. Apparently the woods that we just walked through here behind the sign was an area where covens of witches met back in the 16th century? Yes. And 9 people from the region were taken at the stake. Hee. I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog too. This is the pharmacist of the Camino.
You need something?
We're healing plantar fasciitis with all of this.
Occhi, 80 grammi granulate per soluzione alla ketoprofene, sale di...
What did you just call me? Here we are, chilling. Oh wait, where are we? Espinal. What is it?
You know they don't pronounce their A's like ow.
Espinal. Okay.
Espinal.
Espinal.
Something like that.
Montana's foot's been hurting. She's got a little hitch in her giddy up. It's not her knee, but her foot. So I told her that you're supposed to listen to your body. And she was pretty bummed out that we were only going 4 miles today instead of the 13 that we had planned on. But sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. Are you ready to hike?
No, but get them dogs out my face.
Montana has decided that her feet feel good enough to try to do this 9 miles. Are they actually feeling good enough?
Yes, Mom.
Everybody was so sweet last night trying to help Montana fix her foot. and we
You
think
tell one person you've got issues, and then the whole table's like, I got this,
I've got a foam roller. Yeah, I've got a bag of a whole pharmacy. We're gonna get through this. Stubbornness. It runs in the family, I reckon. Y'all, the Camino is a thru-hiker's dream because we've been probably 2.5 miles so far, and we came across this little cafe, bar, whatever you want to call it. This little stop behind me that's got some different snacks and sandwiches, etc. And so I stopped for a cafe con leche. Well, having braces and drinking all this wine and coffee, I'm really supposed to be drinking out of straw, but it seems like no places ever have straws. So I went in there and I asked, when she gave me the coffee, if I could get, I asked, do you have a straw? And she said, what? And I was like, a straw? And so she handed me this little spoon here. So then I used Google Translate and looked up on my phone. Apparently straw is paha. So I said, paha? And she said, ah, and then went and grabbed a couple little straws for me. So Google Translate has definitely been very helpful. Obviously, being able to pronounce the words better would probably help more, but kind of learn that as you go, because this Alabama runs deep and and it's hard to kind of reverse some of this. Well, the wind blew my pahas away, so Montana had to go in and ask for more, and the woman corrected her and said pahita. I have to say, I really admire people who speak more than one language. I mean, it's incredible to me for people to speak two, but there are folks here who speak several. Hola! Hola. I hope they know there's a gate down there. I have to say that I don't know if embarrassing is the right word, but that's how I feel a little bit, to go to a different country and visit and not be able to speak their language. And of course, I've gotten by the best I can and tried to learn some basic phrases before I got here, but I really do appreciate the people who do speak my language and are patient with me and my terrible pronunciation of their language. This is pretty. Just a little bit ago, we passed the point of no return. That was the last road access that I know of we could call a taxi, so we've got about 2 miles into town now, and this stubborn thing says that she's gonna make it. So we're on the home stretch. Almost there. Almost there. Yay, you did it. No, you had it the whole time. Oh gosh! Oh my gosh! That was about bad.
Oh, dude.
Well, that was interesting. I'm just proud of my straw.
Are we the last ones again? Yep. Farewell, Zubiri. We have to move on now. What are you doing?
I can't get them.
You tried so hard, though. Don't rip my finger off now when I set you free. Yay! Smack talking you.
Yeah. At least my feet don't look like that.
Not yet. Look what Montana just found. There you go. Those are the beasts that stung us the first day. Maybe it's those there. Not in the vine, but the other thing. I don't know. It's the devil, whatever it is, but now we know. I just feel so bad for Montana. She's going on like a trooper. We're gonna take a 0 in Pamplona. It'll be a good spot to, you know, kind of relax a little bit. So Montana and I have a kind of funny story. It was funny when it happened, but okay, so in these hallways, you can see there are these little buttons that are lights. We've been pushing them to turn the lights on when we go in places. But the problem is some of them are located next to doors. And I accidentally ding-dong ditched somebody. Don't know what that is. That's when you push a doorbell and then you take off running. You know, kids usually do stuff like that, but I didn't know. I thought it was a button for a light. I mean, why would the doorbells and the light switches look the same? That makes 0 sense to me. So anyway, yeah, we didn't hang around to do the right thing and say, sorry, we didn't mean to ring the doorbell. Probably because we don't know how to say that in Spanish. And it would have been like real confusing to pull up Google Translate and try to say that and all that. So anyway, we just ran down the stairs like a bunch of little kids. They have red people and green people. We happened to pass by a place while we were walking around Pamplona that mentioned podiatry, so we made an appointment and Montana went in. They did rub out the plantar fascia and then they did some sort of like poking, so I don't know if it was like a dry needling thing exactly. We don't know exactly what it was, but it seems to have helped Montana somewhat. Anyway, she was a trooper. I know it hurt.
Do it.
Hush. These are the walls of Old Town Pamplona that we are walking through. I just think it's really cool. They date back to the 16th century, and the Camino is actually this path right here. How crazy is it to see buildings and structures that are older than our country? It's just kind of hard to really wrap your mind around. A lot of these little villages that we're walking through remind me of something from Disney World or Epcot or I don't know, because they're so beautiful and historic looking, right? So it's just, I don't know, nothing that I've ever seen before in my life. It just has a completely different vibe in it, and everything that I've seen that's even similar to it is just kind of like a replica. So to see a place that looks like that in real life, not just because it's cheesily made to look that way, it was just really cool. I guess if you just go and see parts of the world other people haven't, you don't really need an imagination. The trees have eyes. Hello! Montana's praying at the church. I heard that. It hurt so bad.
You know you can send your bag ahead, right?
Yeah, that's what I was
did
saying.
that
Like,
in
from Roncesvalles to Zubiri. Thank God,
Yeah.
because that downhill was a killer.
Yeah, I know. And I told Montana that, but she was like, no way. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it depends on how miserable you want to be, right?
She's just stubborn, is basically. All right, where's my straw? Somebody told me what paja is slang for in Spanish, and let's just say I won't be making that mistake again. Good morning, another day on the Camino Francis, and another night of barely any sleep. There was a man last night that Montana said sounded like he was grinding pepper in his throat and it wouldn't grind. Today is an exciting day because it's the whole reason Montana decided to hike the Camino. And that is we get to visit the wine fountain. Tradition is that the pilgrims drink their wine from a shell. We had heard that it's like more special, if you will, if somebody gives you a shell or you find one along the way, but I don't know where we're gonna find one because we're not near the coast. So we decided we would hold out until we got close to the wine fountain. So last night we go on a hunt for shells and we found some with like 10 minutes to spare at this little store that was closing at 8 p.m. And then we started thinking, Montana was like, I wish we could kind of personalize them or paint them or make them different somehow so they're not just like everybody else's shells. And at that point, with about 7 minutes to spare, we happened to pass this little shop and there was a sign that said something about ceramic lessons on the outside of the door. So we go in and the lady in there does not speak English, but through Google Translate, we're able to find the words to ask her if she sells paint. The lady insists that we come in and sit down and she gives us some paints and some brushes and some little palette doohickeys that you put paint on. And we sat there and we painted and we asked, well, what time do you close? And she said, well, actually 8, but I'm cooking, so go ahead and do your thing. So we painted our shells and then when we got done, we said, well, how much do we owe you? And she shook her head and she said, thank you. So of course I hugged her because I'm a hugger and Montana gave her the thank you because she's not into hugging. And we have painted shells and they're so not very attractive probably from what most people's artistic standards would be, but they're beautiful to us and our mom likes them, so that's all that matters. And so today we get to drink wine out of shells that are special to us and that kind of have a cool story and a cool experience behind them. So anyway, on to the wine fountain. Oh, that's definitely it. This wonderful moment of music brought to us by Montana's phone. Oh God, it's smelling so. Cheers. Ugh, in the dark again. I don't even take that long in the bathroom. Hey, sit, eat. Yes, you don't speak English. We just checked in and so far we are the only ones in our room. This little room that we've picked is kind of partitioned off with curtains. I like that this hostel has these rubbery like covers over their mattresses. I assume that's to help prevent bed bugs, which is awesome. Now the blankets, I assume, are just like at hotels. They probably rarely get washed, so I don't ever use these, but you could bring just a sleeping bag liner and probably get by with using these blankets. I'd rather not, so I always throw mine off the bed. And then it looks like, usually I assume when they have pillowcases, that the pillowcases do get washed daily if they're used. But sometimes they'll give you like little disposable sheets and pillowcases, which this place actually also does that. It's pretty. This is the view of the neighboring village from the village we're in, outside of our hostel, which is right there, right here. I see it now. Oh my God, Montana. What? Nobody's snoring. I know, I was gonna say it, but I didn't want to jinx it. Yeah, no kidding. It's amazing. It's fun. Yeah. What? Oh my. You jinxed it. No, I can't even make that up. You're gonna tear out that pack. All right.
No.
All right, just pull it straight. Oh, you got the other one out.
Oh. It hit me.
Yay! It's called the Gimpney Gate.
I'm about to roll down this hill.
Do it.
No.
You won't.
I'll break myself.
Pretty. Look at the little little nest. Everybody passing today has been saying Buen Camino like normal, and I'm thinking Muy mal Camino because I don't feel good. And I don't know, I don't have a fever or anything like that. I'm just stuffed up and coughing. I have had a little bit of a sore throat, and so it could be like an allergies, sinus-y thing. But the only thing is Montana has been like that for a couple days too. So I don't know. I don't know if we both just kind of have some crud or if she's got something and gave it to me. But there's a pharmacy in the next little village. There wasn't one where we stayed last night, plus it was Sunday, so they're closed. Hoping to get there before they close for their little afternoon siesta. We're staying tonight in Logrono because we booked it ahead of time since there's a wine festival there, and from what I understand at this point every day it's been getting booked up, so I would have gotten us a private room just in case, because don't need to be having a crud up in a bunk room. It's not really fair to other folks, but now we're kind of in a tight spot. So we will be hand sanitizing and washing our hands and coughing in our sleeve and doing the best we can to kind of stay to ourselves. But yeah, thankfully it's kind of an overcast day, so it's not just scorching hot and miserable, because we are doing a little over 11 miles today. This is the snail home store.
It's 8 hours wine. Okay, yeah. Okay.
We were trekking on through Viana, and we saw in English over to the side, it said Pilgrim's Oasis, listing things that they had for sale that we haven't seen in Spain. And it turns out they're Canadian, the folks that are running the place. They have snacks and different foods, and they also do foot baths. So I talked Montana into it outside of her comfort zone. It's just like refreshing, and I don't know, just I had some hummus and vegetables because I've been missing vegetables, something out here serious. It was a good stop and kind of a pick-me-up that I feel like we both needed since we were kind of blah today. Somehow my math earlier was incorrect. We're actually going 12.2 miles today, which will be our biggest day so far. Entering Logrono. So Logrono is one of the bigger places for sure that we've been. I don't like this. Oh. No! Excuse me. It didn't even... That's lame. Lamest photo booth ever. It didn't even let us make funny faces. And this is why it was lame, because it's for like passports and stuff. It's not a fun photo booth. Ready? Okay.
Montana Mills, now that you've walked 100 miles, what will you do with the rest of your life?
Oh, go back to Alabama and lay in the bed. You mean walk 400 plus more?
They call it the Camino ride.
The Camino ride. Whee! I am feeling so much better today, and I didn't really want to admit it to myself, but you know, I always share the good and the bad with everything, so I'm going to on this trip also. And I think I was getting a little bit homesick on top of actual not feeling well sick. Being submerged in a completely different culture, not being able to communicate well with other people, going places and ordering food that I'm not quite sure what I'm ordering, having people around every day and not getting great sleep because, you know, people do snore, they have different schedules. This isn't a normal backpacking trip for me. I mean, there have been a lot of things that are completely different about this, good and bad. I think that putting ourselves in situations where we're not comfortable, and as I've said before, getting comfortable with being uncomfortable is important. All of that to say that I think I was getting a bit homesick, but I think I've kind of reached a point on that where I'm like, okay, I was getting a little homesick, and now it's time to reevaluate and just kind of change my perspective. And I know that there will be a lot of positives that come from that. So anyway, if you've ever experienced that, I feel you. If it's not normal in general, then at least I'm weird with you, because that's how I feel. There's kitty. You like kitties, I guess, huh?
El restaurante está cerrado.
The restaurant is closed. Yes. Hey.
Una mesa para 3 personas.
One table for 3 people. Oh, good. Oh! We are in potentially a bit of a predicament. We've usually around lunchtime looked ahead, figured out where we're gonna go, and then we call and either make a reservation or even online make a reservation. But at least that way we know what we're filling up to instead of trying to plan out several days in advance. They might potentially have rooms. We've seen a lot of people on trail today, so I bet not. We just saw a sign back there for another albergue that wasn't listed in Guthook or on booking.com, and they didn't answer, so I don't know where we're gonna sleep tonight. We might be on the park bench for real. We'll have to taxi somewhere else, but even surrounding areas, I wasn't really finding anything online earlier, so I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Like they told us we should not camp or anything.
They did tell you not to camp?
Like people in Spain, they don't like it. I mean, the first couple of days we had to stay in the albergues because we didn't have any other option, but in Pamplona we went to the Decathlon and then we bought a tent for ourselves.
Oh, you bought a tent there, I see.
Oh, it's better. In the albergues, there's always the one guy who snores.
Oh, God. You're lucky if it's just one.
They're always right next to you. So.
Yes, that we've had that. No, it looks like it was shot, but yeah, I probably just kicked it. Somebody got angry that they were closed. We got to the donation albergue, and of course it's closed. They're having some kind of problems, so for a week they're not having anybody stay there. And there were these two fellas that were sitting outside. They were very sweet. They since the place was closed, they actually have a tent and they're gonna camp down by the river, but they offered us their tent and said that they would sleep outside on the ground in their sleeping bags, and we were like, that's really nice, but you don't have to do that. So we're gonna go to the tourism office. I called them, they said come down there and they'll see if the next town has anything available, and then we can taxi there. So, and if not, I guess we'll be sleeping on some benches somewhere, because I mean, I was kind of joking earlier, but we really don't have many options left.
¿Tenéis hueco para dos chicas americanas?
Café, desayunar y andar.
Good. Bueno. The lights aren't working.
What is this?
I don't know. Is that like a... I mean, you'd think they would tell us if there was some weird... And this thingy? I had to call the front desk, and apparently, I think, is it in that?
No, oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Okay, so we finally made it. We went to the tourism office that closed, and well, she said it was already closed, but she would stay open for us to get there. So we get there.
Oh, sorry.
We have to leave the card in there.
Oh. Maybe that's why I got food.
Wow. She calls around, everything is complete already. And so that means everything's full up. She thinks of this place. Sure enough, they have one double left, which you're looking at. Anyway, we can't keep doing this. We're gonna have to start booking ahead, because with paying €45 to €50 every night to have a place to sleep, we are going to be on park benches and eating some ramen noodles that I haven't even seen here, but they probably have them, and it's not going to be fun. So we're going to have to start booking ahead, Montana. Oh, I don't know where the switch is this time. And that is why you always bring your phone to the bathroom with you. CHICAS at Hotel Hormilla go to Navarrete.
Hola, somos Hotel Hormilla. Dos chicas. Sí. Navarrete. That's beautiful. Okay. Sí. Gracias.
What did he say? Are you not sure? Is he coming? Actually cool.
I went out and tried to cut a pine tree down. Fell through the ground like Alice. Oh, what a sound. this must be a nest.
We had a really good night last night. When we got to the albergue to start with, we were just laughing with everyone because several times all of us have found ourselves stranded in the restroom with the light cut off. And this has been a challenge of mine. And I mean, I won't even be in there for a long time. Like, just go in number 1 and it will cut off. We thought it was gonna be our least favorite place, and it ended up being one of our favorites, more because of the experience and the environment due to the folks around us. I know that those things sound silly, but just those little moments that you can kind of laugh about something or share an experience with people or knowledge or whatever, it really makes it. You speak German too?
No, Francia.
Paris. He speaks English when he drinks wine. Yeah. But there are some things that we just don't need words for that are universal, like hugs and smiles, laughter, and kindness.
Is the toilet free? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
€5.
€5.
Oh, Justice is my middle name. I'm Alice. Dear Queen of Hearts, I'ma grow you white roses so you can learn to be kind.
Oh, traffic jam.
Tell King of Hearts to all his foes so you can learn
It's okay, guy.
to be kind. Dear Queen of Hearts, I'ma grow you white roses so you can learn to be kind. Tell King of Hearts to all his foes so you can learn to be kind. And the horizon silver line.
Guys, I don't know if you can hear her, but she's singing I Will Always Love You.
Making progress.
Oh, now it's below 500.
Yeah. The name of the town has already held true, and we're not even in it yet.
Calm down.
R.I.P. little buddy. Montana's being sweet and moving him out the path so people don't have to see a dead mouse. There. Little Montana is kicking my booty today. She always says that the heat is her kryptonite, like the freezing rain is mine. But it's hot and she is trucking along, considering all the troubles that she's had with her feet and her knees and then getting kind of croupy-like, and just seeing her overcome that, because as she has said before, the only exercise she's ever cared about is walking to the fridge. Somebody loves chocolate donuts. Man. Too bad it's not flowing. He's dehydrated, Montana. Lately we've been averaging about 15 miles or so per day. Today has been an exciting milestone because we crossed over the halfway point. So we've got less than 240 miles to go right now, I believe. And I've heard that in Sahagun, which is the town that we're gonna stay in tonight, they have halfway Compostelas that you can actually supposedly frame. But if it is something, in fact, that is available, we'll definitely grab one or two. Ooh. We're on the way to get our halfway certificate. Montana has on her fancy white socks for the occasion. Oh, wait. Oh, you're just barefooted.
The story I'm told is your heart.
Hey y'all, Dixie here. Just sipping my beer.
Ooh.
And I have more, okay?
And I have more. And I have more.
Hombre, this is terapia del riso, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, but every now and then you need a private bathroom. Yeah.
I could do without the like straining. Like I just wanted to knock and be like, "Sir, can I help you?"
Okay, Calvo means bald, and Kian is just a play on Klein. Okay.
She translated it with her mobile.
Yeah.
With the camera.
Bald Kian.
She's professional.
She took pictures and then he looked away, he looked again, and he saw legs on the floor. And she said, what? He was thinking, why is she laying there now? We're almost there. What happens to her? And was yelling at her, get out, we have to go on the way. And she wasn't moving. She had a heart attack. And she was dying with that. And he's taken with the best friend of his wife, that woman. That was the couple, which wasn't a couple. Taking that day to Santiago. I met them last night.
So I know I keep having these like best albergue stories, or one ends up trumping another, but I think that we finally stayed in my most favorite one, La Bastide and Sahagun. The woman who works there, or well, owns it, she's from South Africa. She ended up being one of the sweetest ladies ever. I was hanging out with folks from Germany, a couple others from the US, one from Belgium, and we were talking about just the cultural differences and just the different reasons of why some of them chose to walk. One of them that stood out in particular is a guy. He had no heartbeat and was resuscitated. So to more or less celebrate his second chance at life, he's out here walking the Camino. I mean, how crazy is that? But that's the kind of stuff you run into out here. Everybody's got their own story and everybody has their own reasons, but everyone is like-minded enough to step away from the rat race and come do something to explore a different country, religion, or, themselves.
Come on, keep eating. You hungry?
That's cool. Oh. This could take a while. This is what mamas mean when they say look both ways, crossing the road, or you'll get squished like a pancake. I think my favorite part of seeing all of these cathedrals and historical buildings are the ceilings, because they're all just so different and pretty in their own way, and that's really what I look forward to. I walk into a room and I immediately look up to see what's above me. Montana says she likes the stained glass windows, but yeah, the ceilings are my thing for sure. Now, maybe that's not what you're supposed to go in and appreciate in these buildings, but you know, it is what it is. I'm such a child. It's beginning to look a lot like autumn. Oh? Hey!
This is what you get when you do laundry and you don't wash all the soap out of your socks very well. Okay, this is getting a little ridiculous now.
Hey, Jessica, you know what this feels like? What? Mousetrap? Yes! Yeah. Oh, it's Mousetrap and there's a cat. Whee. I don't know the proper way to order this, but Montana and I have had so much problem ordering hot chocolate before that I said it step by step. I said leche caliente, well, dos caliente con chocolate. So hot milk with chocolate. And hey, we got it. Better go to bed, Cinderella. You better go home, Cinderella. Out into the cold we go. At least it's not raining. Is that snow on the mountain? It is. Y'all, it is cold, like cold, like trying to be winter cold. In fact, this morning I saw some snow on the mountains and I was like, oh no. And then I realized, you know what? I'm not trying to finish a through hike up in those mountains. It's kind of nice to, you know, be able to not freak out and not rush at the end and just, you know, enjoy the mountains with snow from down here. The clouds look bad, don't they? So it wasn't supposed to rain today, but the weatherman lied.
I mean, there's one right there, and then like a couple right there.
I don't know that that is bed bugs for real though. Like, it doesn't look like the Google image what a bug bite looks like, but the fact that they're all
old dude just said
3 in a row.
3 in a row, but that's like 20 in a row, so you know, I don't know.
I think that there was probably a mosquito flying around the room last night. That's what we're gonna hope it was, because I woke up and I had a bite on my hand, and then actually on my other hand also, well, a few bites, and that was it. But I woke up itching, and I shined my light all around looking on the sheets and stuff, and the beds that we stayed on last night were wrapped in like a liner. I guess the pillows could have bed bugs, but they even gave us those little disposable sheets and pillowcases there. I did hear something buzzing in the night. It could have been a fly, could have been a mosquito, but that's one of the scariest things, is to wake up scratching because of everything that we hear. And we've run into several people on the Camino so far who have experienced bed bugs. But anyway, I think it's a false alarm, but it was still a little concerning. And that town over there has warmth and beds and food. This is a good weather only albergue.
Don't cry, Cinderella.
I hate you.
It'll be okay.
Get out.
Someday your Prince Charming will come and you won't have to scrub our clothes anymore, Cinderella.
Look how pretty that is. It looks fake, Montana. Wow. It looks like cotton candy in the sky. Some ruins, something that used to be, we don't know what, but they're ruins. You see it? It's pretty though. Looks like a Christmas tree farm. Not in the plains anymore, y'all. Oh, it's so pretty. We are approaching La Cruz de Ferro, and this is where people leave a stone by the cross, usually one that they've carried from home or from the beginning of their journey. This is like a main tradition, apparently, on the Camino Francis.
Yeah. For me, for my wife.
Aww. How are the knees?
They are so good.
Are you telling a story?
No.
Okay. Do you need to put your braces on?
No.
Okay.
Do you need to take your braces off?
In about 2 years. The mountains are disappearing. How do you say hot chocolate? We still haven't.
Chocolate caliente.
Okay. And they're gonna heat up a candy bar for you.
No, what?
3 miles to go. We'll be saving snails the whole way.
I know.
Whoa, look out.
Bueno, me alegro de veros. Y el Oviedo va.
This is a nice room.
like ill.
No.
But like these I haven't scratched much. But like
oh my god, yes, that's, I mean, these definitely are not mosquitoes now. We should probably make a note. You got hook. Look. My booty. Look light. Scald down on the inside and in that back pouch there, everywhere in all the pockets. And then once you've scalded everything, then lay it down.
Down the
yeah, so the straps and the hip builder submerged.
Help me! I'm a dying bedbug!
Someone told me this is not hot enough. Maybe we need to get lighter and some gasoline.
Oh my gosh, y'all. We were joking around, like, looking at the water surface to see if
I
we found
wasn't
anything.
joking.
Look. I think it's a bed bug. I think it's a bed bug. Okay, I would let your pack soak longer.
Throw the whole sleeping bag away.
It's not funny, but it's funny.
It's staying there.
Hey! Did you come to greet us and welcome us to Villa Franca? Hi! Hey! Oh my goodness, you're sweet. You're a sweet baby. Oh, okay. All right.
Taking it?
I'm not really a kitty person, but okay. I like this, I think. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh.
That thing sounds like it's dying.
We got a private room for €9 a piece. Two beds. I'm tired. Be quiet. We said, what's wrong with it? Did you check the beds?
No, not yet.
You should probably do that.
I know.
My rain gear had holes in it. I had stitched up my breeches and they were still kind of leaking, so I just tossed them. My rain jacket was leaking, but both of those have already been on, I believe, 1.5 through hikes. So I figured they lived their life out, and I got a poncho. Montana ended up sending her rain gear home and getting a poncho also. So now we're gonna both look like Little Red Riding Hood when it's raining for the next few days. Breaking out the four-wheel drive. Like a little troll running.
Hello, puppy.
Hey, bud. I got a little hitch in your giddy up.
Yeah, it does.
So he's probably an old man.
I think you're from the south.
Yeah. Galicia! Another province.
Just say me stop.
And my philosophy in life is that you must have more than one husband.
More than one.
Yeah.
That was the.
What does your husband think about your philosophy?
Just wait a minute.
I don't want
Jessica,
one.
are you?
I don't.
Really?
Yeah.
Are we recording?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I will not say that.
And this This is what mile 400 looks like. Soggy. It wasn't supposed to rain today, but it is misting right now. And right in the middle of town. Mile 400 looks like breakfast.
I want to go first.
Go first.
Oh.
Oh, they just getting it. Ooh. Hitting Sarria is just an exciting milestone for me because we've been hearing about it from the beginning. Sarria is the town where a lot of people start their pilgrimage because that's all that's required to get a Compostela in Santiago. From this point forward, we have to get 2 sellos or stamps in our little credentials book just to, I guess, try to validate that you actually did the miles. So from now on, we have to make sure we do that. So a lot of the bars that you stop at have some of the cathedrals, and it's been really fun collecting them, honestly. Ah! Officially 100 kilometers left. About to roll into town, bright and early in the day at 7 p.m. Are you ready to hike 14 miles in the rain?
Yeah.
Never really done this poncho life thing until now, and it's a real struggle to do it. Oh, I might have just to do it by yourself. So that's the only word if you want it over your pack anyway. So that's, other than that, it seems really nice to be aerated from underneath so you don't get sweaty, and it helps have a layer of redundancy for your stuff, keeping it dry in your pack. But if you got a hiking buddy like mine back there, then the poncho is probably good. Otherwise, you just need to exercise or stretch your arms so that you can become more limber than I am, apparently. Did you get yours?
Yeah.
Or be young than I am. Montana. We are. I mentioned in Sarria that I was surprised that we didn't see a crowd because I knew a lot of folks would be starting from there, but we found the crowd. We've been hiking around a lot of folks today, which honestly on rainy days is really kind of nice, just knowing that you're not alone. And we're staying in an area tonight though that has several albergues, so I don't think we'll have to stress over having a bed. What's interesting to me is that you can tell who has been at this for a while and who is just starting based on just the general vibe, really. Everyone, there's definitely a contrast. The folks who have been at it for a while, especially on the rainy, windy days, folks who just started are still very cheery and excited, and you can see a light in their eyes that, you know, they're just happy to be on this journey, even if they're embracing the suck from the start. And then those of us who have been out here a little bit longer are more hardened, especially the ones who have been in the rain now for a week or two. I can't really keep up with time. So I would say that's something that's kind of unique to this pilgrimage, is seeing the contrast of those who are excited because they see a light at the end of the tunnel, and then seeing the ones who are excited because it's the beginning of their journey. This is something that we've just started seeing on the menu. It's called Santiago cake, because we're near Santiago. Look, y'all, we got the power strip to ourselves. We could sleep in several of these beds. I'm just kidding, I wouldn't do that, but I'm just saying, this whole albergue, like the other rooms too, we're the only people here. Even the people who work here were not here past 7:30. Me and Montana are having a slumber party. Yay! Hush. I think this might be the coolest looking caterpillar I have ever seen. Check out that horn. We looked ahead at the next few days to kind of see what the weather is supposed to do, and it's showing that for 3 days we'll have no rain, and that's really what we're going for. So as of yesterday, we were less than 50 miles from Santiago, so we're hoping to finish in 3 days, including walking today. We just don't want to walk in and finish on a day that's completely cold and rainy and miserable. One of the last suppers before we're officially in Santiago. Montana's been saying the whole time, jokingly, well, halfway jokingly, that she's just ready for it to be done. And yesterday she said to me, she's like, I don't want it to be over yet. And she saw how far we've really traveled. You know, she's like, oh my gosh, we've almost walked a whole country. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, that's the point. Just seeing that progress and the excitement in her to see that progress was just, I don't know, very rewarding for me, not only because I've also experienced this myself, but just experiencing it with her. Montana has scrambled eggs with cheese. I have local cheese from Arzua, and they didn't even charge me extra for the bug that's squished on it. It is Santiago Eve. It is 7 p.m. and we're still walking because most people stop with about 12 miles to go, it seems. But we didn't really want to have to do 12 miles in the last day. For the next week, it's gonna be raining. So we decided if we go 6 more miles, we'll only have 6 to do to get into Santiago tomorrow, and then maybe we can get our certificate and have time to explore. So we're gonna probably be doing a little bit of night hiking tonight to get to where we're going. Thankfully, they allow us to check in until midnight. We'll have a private room for our Santiago Eve night. We won't have to get up super early, and no snoring, and tomorrow is Santiago. Does it feel real though, for real? Montana's sad now.
I'm not, but look at the frog.
He's posing.
Okay, he may be dead.
Oh. Civilization, is that you? think it was another. We were a little stressed because reception appears to be closed. But voila! Boom. I'm perfect. Oh, we get to sleep close to each other, Montana. It's the final countdown. There it is. There it is. She broke. Our last view until we descend into Santiago. Oh my gosh. The bells are ringing. Are we there yet? We actually made it. We decided that just walking to Santiago wasn't going to be enough for us. So We are gonna walk to Fistera. I mean, we started at the border of France, so why not walk all the way to the coast? Montana's pretty determined that she wants to know that she walked across the whole country before, so that's what we're doing.
Time can never be your trusted friend or your sworn ally. No, it's the harshest mistress of all.
I just wanted to go on an adventure with my little sister that we could both enjoy. I don't have children, but my much younger siblings are kind of that for me in the way that I want more for them. I want them to see more than I did and to do more than I did. Allowing her to get out and see something different than Opelika, Alabama, for example. I've seen her come out of her shell out here and learn a lot of different things, and I just hope that from here on out she'll kind of carry this experience with her and long for more things like this. But it's been great being able to share this time with her, because as everyone grows up they kind of branch out and do their own things, and so I don't know if we'll both ever have the time to do something like this together again. So all in all, I'd say that my goals have been accomplished, and now we're fixing to complete our steps from the border of Spain all the way to the coast. Yes! Oh my gosh. We've actually walked to the coast though, that's insane. Fistera was known in Roman times as the end of the world. So I just think it's cool, not only are we going to walk across the country of Spain, but we're going to the end of the world. It's the final countdown.
Becca! You did it!
Go, buddy! Go! 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 You can do it! You're almost there! No, you can't go under the finish line.
He said I'm just gonna move the finish line. Here, I got you. I got you, dude. Are you eating the finish line? Like, I'm confused.
Yay!